You're listening to the Jam Price Show, all about movies. And today, my guest is Joan Carr-Wiggin. And we're going to be talking about her new movie, A Grand Romantic Gesture. Welcome back to the show, Joan.
Thank you for having me back. I really appreciate it.
And we had so much fun last time. I enjoyed our interview so much. We laughed a lot.
You are a delight as an interviewer. It is a pleasure with you.
Oh, thank you so much. That's very sweet of you to say. I appreciate that. Well, you're a great guest. We had lots to talk about. I love the way you write. I love your films. I'm a huge fan. I have to tell you, after last year when you were on the show for Getting to Know You, which I loved, I went back and started watching your other movies, and I'm a huge fan of the work that you're doing and the way that you're writing for women, older women of a certain age, and we don't have enough of those movies out there, movies for grown-ups. So I love what you're doing. Let's talk a little bit about Grand Romantic Gesture. Tell the audience a little bit about what this film is all about.
It's about a woman. It's played by Gina McKee, and she's a scientist and she loves her career. And then she is forced out of her job due to cutbacks. And she's miserable. And her family, her husband and her pregnant daughter are like, oh, no problem, Mom. You know, learn how to do gourmet cooking. You can make lovely meals for us. You can look after the grandkid and all of this. And so she takes this gourmet cooking class, hates it completely, and instead goes to an amateur drama class. And then she is cast as Juliet in Romeo and Juliet, and kind of falls for the man playing Romeo.
And I love it because it's such a surprise to everyone that it's an older couple playing Romeo and Juliet, which puts a whole new twist on the story.
Yeah, and it's it's nice because you can be older and still fall in love. It happens. You still feel like Romeo and Juliet, right? Anytime you fall in love.
Listen, I think even though our the number may be saying one thing of our age, how we feel inside is entirely different. So it's
Yes.
How we feel like, for me, it's 39. Jack Benny always talked about being 39, yes. And I got it. I get it. I go, yeah, 39. That was a wonderful year. Perfect.
And there's sometimes you still feel 12, right?
It's true too. So I love your cast. Again, you do such a wonderful job with your casting. Gina McKee, oh my goodness, she is so good in this. And I'm so sorry, Douglas Hodge, who plays Romeo.
Yes,
talk a little.
Tony, like he's an amazing actor. They're both wonderful.
They are.
Yeah.
So tell me about your casting process in this one. How did you, Gina? For many people, if you've ever seen Notting Hill, you remember Gina McKee from Notting Hill for sure, and many other things. But she's a marvelous actress, and this part is a heavy duty, lots of emotions that she has to portray in this character, but silently say, the way she acts throughout this is where it's just the quiet acting and her expressions and all of that. So talk a bit about her and your casting her and what that process was.
We were lucky. I wrote the part of Simon for Douglas Hodge because we'd worked with him on another movie, The Bet, and he is a delight to work with. He is wonderful. So he has the same agent as Gina. So I didn't actually think we'd get Gina. Our budgets aren't great, and we shoot in, Northern Ontario and Canada, and people don't necessarily want to rush to do it. And so Doug was kind enough. He talked to Gina on the phone, and I think he talked her into a little bit, and she came on board, and she was just wonderful. She's the most amazing person to work with. She plays often like kind of colder characters, but she is just so much fun. Like, she is just constant laughs with her, and she stays on set just in case we need her. Like, she's not one who disappears into her trailer forever. So, and Doug is the funniest guy on the planet. So, I mean, everyone says the shoot was really nice, but even when they hate each other, but on ours, it really, really was. We had a great time.
That comes through too, I think, when you see the film. Douglas Hodge, I'm not as familiar with, I'm sorry to say, but I have to tell you, when I first saw him, I'm going, well, what does she find attractive about him? Why would she, her husband's really good looking in this film. The actor that plays her husband, Dylan Lewin.
No, that's Rob Stewart.
Oh, Rob Stewart. Okay.
Rob Stewart's husband, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So um, he was, he's very good looking and everything. And then, Douglas Hodge is, a little pudgy, not, what you call a, a
More of an
romantic.
ordinary person. Yeah, he's more of an ordinary guy, and then, but he's got this amazing personality and this spark and this wit, and that's it. That's what it takes, right? You don't always fall in love with the prettiest person in the room.
It's exactly true. I mean, that's what came through. He did. You just go, oh, I can see why she fell in love with him. Yeah, totally. It is, and how he was with her, and it's really very interesting. I have a quote from you, and I'm going to read this to you. As a writer, you understand why every single line is there, and why everything is happening to the characters, and why they do what they do. So you always have the answers for the actors when they come to you. I think it would be very difficult to direct something that I didn't write, meaning you. So let's talk about that a little bit. I mean, you get inside the heads of these characters as you're writing these films.
Yeah, the characters are really real to me. And then, sometimes the actors, they'll do something different. And I do try to be open to that, because when you get really good actors, they can go in a direction sometimes that, that you didn't expect. And that's nice anyway. But yeah, I think to do something someone else wrote, I would find that really hard. It just would feel, do I really know why that person did that? I mean, maybe for something you really, really love. But as it happens, I love writing, so I don't have to go to anybody else's scripts. Yeah.
That's, and you're very prolific too, because you were just, we getting to know you just opened up last year. And here you are with this brand new movie. What are you working on going forward from?
We have one going to camera on March 4th with another one. So yeah, but it's, we're very lucky. There is this funding program in Northern Ontario in Canada, and they've been very generous to us, and it's a nice place to work. It's small there, but people are incredibly friendly and relaxed. And so, when I was young, we only got in the business in our 40s, my husband and I, and then, when we were younger, there were lots of times we struggled to get financing and we couldn't. And now if we can, then let's do them. It's fun.
Yeah, you're on a roll. You're definitely on a roll. So when did you shoot this, A Grand Romantic Gesture? Did you shoot it during the pandemic?
No, we shot it just before the pandemic. And then we went into it. I was almost finished post-production when the lockdown hit. And then we were extra careful because we're old, and my husband has some pre-existing risk factors. So we were very, we really didn't go out at all. So then I tried finishing it up, at a distance. They sent me this fancy 4K monitor and big speakers and everything, but I found that really frustrating. So actually we waited till I was double vaxxed, and then I got to go into the post-production house and finish it off. So there was quite a delay there.
And this is opening up this month, February, correct?
Yeah, next Tuesday in the US from Gravitas.
Okay, yeah. And we'll have a theatrical.
No, I don't think so. I don't think small movies generally have much in the way of theatricals anymore, to be honest. I mean, that seems more and more for these, giant superhero things.
Yeah, I was just reading this morning that they said there will be fewer films released for theatrical screenings in 2022, and that's kind of sad. But a lot of people are still afraid to go to the movie theater. I mean, we're just going back, and then Omicron hit.
I think the other thing is, especially during COVID, we all got these fancy big TVs and everything, and I'm not so much theater is better. I remember many years ago when I was pregnant, I used to go to movies 3 times a week. And then when I was having my daughter, it was like I was heartbroken. Oh my goodness! And what will I do without movies? I think there are a lot of women are maybe less likely to go. People, it's expensive. You pay for parking, maybe a babysitter, all the snack stuff. So I don't really care. If people want to watch something at home, I'm fine with that.
I think I agree with you. I was one of those people who got the big screen TV during the pandemic, and exactly that. I enjoy, it is a different experience though. When I have gone to see some films in the theater, I did go see Belfast in the theater and, several others. There's still something about that big screen experience that,
There's a mess.
yeah, that you need to, that film should be seen. Some films are just so visually, just beautiful. I just did an interview with Billy August for his film The Pact about Karen Blixen, and he was a cinematographer before, and each scene in that film is just like a piece of art. The lighting and the color. Even though I watched it at home, I have a screener, I thought, oh, this in the movie theater would be even more spectacular than it was at home. So, yeah, there's a place for both. Go ahead.
And the other thing is for comedies, because I haven't attended any screening of this movie. So it's just, going out, and we didn't even do a cast and crew screening because of COVID. And that I don't like, because it is nice to be there and see. One thing I always interests me is, what line do they respond to the most? What do they laugh at most? I had a line in one script where someone refers to a young woman that she gave up her virginity for Lent. And that did not get a laugh in North America. And then we screened it in England. It was the biggest laugh in the movie. So, those things are really interesting. And we're not going to have that on this one. So.
That's a great line.
Okay, it did actually happen with the girl I went to high school with. Yeah.
That's right. When we talked last time, you said you can write a script from just a little kernel of something somebody does or says.
Yeah, I love the writing part. I love that.
Yeah. I can tell. So what was the kernel that sparked this movie, A Grand Romantic Gesture?
We did a movie, about 12 years ago now, I think, with Marcia Gay Harden, If I Were You. And in it, she is cast as in a production of Lear as Lear. And I think it was the first time a woman had ever played Lear on film. And I really liked that. So I kept thinking on Shakespeare, what else? And I thought, oh yeah, somebody older playing Romeo and Juliet. And like talking to Gina, Doug had played Romeo twice before, but Gina said that when she was young, she was all punky with purple hair, and no one would have cast her as Juliet. So I thought it was nice to give her a chance to play Juliet at her age.
Yes, definitely. Again, it's just an unusual situation to have Romeo and Juliet be older. So your daughter's in this. I saw in the credits.
That's my niece.
Oh, your niece. Okay.
So
go ahead.
She plays Michelle, the one who's originally cast as Juliet, who then loses the role at the start. And she is 4 months pregnant there. She texted me just before she found out late that she was pregnant. It's like, I'm 4 months pregnant, but she barely shows it all. So that is my great niece's kind of Briar's first appearance on camera. She has a tiny little bump there.
Because of the name, I wasn't sure. I thought maybe it might be your daughter, because I think you said she's an attorney. Is that correct?
Yes. Yeah. My daughter's a constitutional lawyer, although right now she's home with my new little grandson.
Oh, how fun.
Yeah. Leor. He's just wonderful. After COVID, we call him our reason to live.
No pressure.
They were dark days. Come on. It's nice to see a baby.
It's true. Given that. So with so I love the actress, and I know she's so familiar, and I don't know what else she's been in, but that played the pregnant daughter.
Oh, Rose Reynolds. Yes, she's actually, that's interesting. She was our UK casting director. She's British. She was our UK casting director's niece, but she didn't tell me. Simone did not tell me. She sent me all of these actresses went on tape, and I picked Rose, absolutely the best, and they were an amazing bunch, and from some big acting families, but Rose was the best. And only at the end did Simone say, "That's my niece." So yeah, there's two nieces in the movie. My casting director and my niece.
A little nepotism, but that doesn't hurt. They're both very good.
They both earned it. So
yeah, they did. They definitely did. And she's so funny. All her facial expressions.
she's really very good.
And the young man who played her husband, what is
That is Dylan Llewellyn. And
Okay.
Doug kept saying on set, in a few years, we're all going to be working for Dylan. And since then, he has the lead. He's from Dairy Girls, which is on Netflix. I don't know if you've ever seen it. It's a delightful show. He's on the, oh, you will like that show. Really, that's worth checking out.
Okay,
And then
I will.
he's in a new Channel 4 in the UK series. He's the lead in it. And in Danny Boyle's new miniseries on the Sex Pistols, he plays one of the Sex Pistols.
Oh, wow.
So we were lucky to get him when we could, because he's just going straight up.
Wow. That, it's always fun. I'm sure for you, very rewarding when you work with young actors and then you just watch them, it's like a springboard and they just move forward and that you had a part in that.
Yeah. No, that does feel good. Yeah.
Now the woman who, again, I'm so sorry that I'm not knowing whose name is whose, but the woman who plays Douglas Hodge's wife.
Okay, that is Linda Cash. Linda Cash, she is she's a very famous opera singer, Maureen Forrester. She is Maureen Forrester's daughter. She's been in 2 Christopher Guest movies. She's amazing at improv. I mean, we've had her in 3 movies now. She was in Getting to Know You and playing this very frumpy woman, very different, and in The Bet. And she's just, I wrote this for her, and she's wonderful. She's just lovely to work with.
I loved her. I just loved her. No, let's talk about the fact that how you set up the narration, how you had both Gina and Linda's character do the narration of this film.
Yeah, I wanted to make an unromantic movie about romance. It's about falling in love, but I wanted like a distance from it. So the 2 of them are commenting kind of after the fact on what happened. And some of their comments are pretty cold about falling in love. And, I wanted that mix of things, that it wasn't just, this isn't love wonderful, because there's lots of times love isn't wonderful, but it feels wonderful at the same time. There's a line that Gina has about dimension love. There's not much difference between the 2. I think that's very true. So
that's very true too. Particularly, yeah. And I'm sure it's a little different falling in love when you're older.
I've been married a million years, so I can't actually say I've fallen in love fresh in my older years, but even when you're married, you kind of fall in love again. You fall, right? There are times you fall in love all fresh with your, but honestly, for my husband and I found COVID, the lockdown was really, really nice. You're kind of together and you don't have sometimes all the stress and tensions of the outside world. You're just there with your cats and parts of COVID, were unpleasant. And I'm not saying the mass death was good, but, there's some elements that were really nice, the 2 of us together.
That's nice to hear. I mean, so it either brought people closer together that were thrown together or not.
You want to kill them. Yeah, one or the other.
I don't know. I wonder if there's some statistics out there about how many divorces took place after the pandemic, although we're still in it, aren't we? Yeah. But not to the extent that we were. So it would be interesting if somebody does some kind of study about that.
Yeah, that would be very interesting. I always say if this had happened when I was a teenager, I would have killed my father. So I had to stay home there for a year. So yeah, I feel for some people, particularly the young people, that it's been very hard for them.
Yeah, it has been. It's been hard. Yeah. Well, a lot of people who are older that are by themselves, it was difficult too. So what's your, the next movie? Can you talk a little bit about that? Do you have it? Well, you're going, March 4th is my birthday, by the way.
Oh, good. That'll be good luck for us, I hope.
Yes, good.
We have, it's about a woman who is widowed, and then her family have all their expectations and her friends of what she should do and become, and she kind of goes in a different direction. And our lead is Sonia Smith. She's a wonderful, wonderful Canadian actress. So really happy to get her. So yeah, looking forward to it, except that it's going to be cold. That's all.
Are you shooting a lot outside, or is it?
Oh, as little as possible, because I hate the cold.
You're part of all this.
If I can move a scene inside, I'm moving it inside.
Yeah. Because you're part of all of this. Weather this year has been pretty amazing, so I can't imagine shooting outside in any of it. It's so cold.
You're not LA, right? You're in California?
I am. I just moved to Santa Barbara from Carmel. I was in Carmel, California, and just before the holidays moved to Santa Barbara, and I absolutely love it here. So I'm like an hour and 15 minutes away from LA. So yeah,
Yeah.
or what I hate it. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. But yeah, but I feel for all my East Coast friends and my Canadian friends. It's been a rough winter, and it seems like it's going to continue. So yeah, our best wishes to everybody that they stay safe in this weather.
Yeah.
What was the most difficult part of this shoot for you?
I'm not sure there was this one went pretty smoothly. I can't remember anything is a huge problem in this one. Yeah, this one was quite smooth. Yeah, I don't remember anything. And man, I always get tense around casting, you worry, but yeah, we got lucky there. You need luck to make a movie, and we got luck on this one. So yeah.
For you, what's the message of this film? Because there's a lot to it. And what was the message?
I think that don't think your life is over. Like, even if things around you are suggesting your life is over, and even if other people are treating you like your life is over, your life is never over until you actually die. Like this, yeah, don't forget that.
Great message. A great message. Yeah, keep reinventing yourself, and that's what you did too. So for people who aren't familiar with your story, we talked about this last time when you were on the show, but how you became a screenwriter, and as you said, it was later in life. So what was that process? Because you had a career similar to the one of the character, Gina McKee's character.
I wish it had been, but yeah, I did statistical analysis, and my background was math and economics, and yeah, I just kind of wandered into it. I was home with my daughter after I had my daughter, and then I always wanted to write, so I got writing more. And then we actually used to go to this small restaurant where there's a guy who was a director there, and he was urging me to write screenplays. And I love movies. I mean, movies were my big passion in life. As I said before, I had my daughter, I was going 3 times a week, so kind of wandered into it. And then my husband started taking the scripts around to people, because I was with our daughter then. And then people were saying, "Oh, you were born to be a movie producer." And as I always say, he didn't know that was an insult. But basically, yeah, it suits him, and we got to work together and raise our daughter. We ended up homeschooling her, not in the old left-wing homeschool, not the new right-wing homeschool way, and yeah, it worked out, but it might not have. I think if I were looking back now, I'd go, "Oh my God, that's crazy." But yeah, we did it. We took some chances.
Good for you. I mean, that's what it's all about. That's what makes life exciting, is when you take risk, and whether it's calculated risk or not. Sometimes it's jumping off the cliff and just going, this is what I'm passionate about. This is what I want to do. So that's why you're such an inspiration in what you're doing, I believe, and that the stories you're telling are those kinds of stories about women taking. Go ahead.
Yeah. The other thing is, like, for women my age, like I never imagined myself as a director, ever. Like the first, and there weren't many film schools or anything like that. I mean, the first movie we made, I never even imagined directing. And it was actually some of the crew who said, "Joan, you should be directing this." And I was like, "Whoa, me?" And so I do think for women who are older, it's been an uphill struggle and things like that, to see yourself doing things. But I really hope for young women, it's easier for them to imagine themselves doing jobs like that.
Well, it is opening up. I mean, more and more.
Yeah.
I think we talked about this a little bit last time too. Is there seem to be more doors opening up than there had been in the past, and more women are paving the way in all of the different areas of filmmaking, cinematography, and editing, and a lot of the positions that have been more men have held in the past, more women are breaking through, and you're one of those trailblazers in that too. Becoming a director, just being a woman, but becoming a director later in life and being successful at it.
Yeah, it's a shock. It's not how I would have seen myself, but it's fun.
What's the thing you love most about it? We have about a couple seconds or so, but what's the thing you love most about directing?
It's nice to be the one who makes the decisions. a lot of, where a lot of women are raised not to do that, but actually when you get on the other side and you're doing it, it's a lot of fun.
Good words. Good words to end this on. And everybody, please find A Grand Romantic Gesture. It is a movie for adults, for grown-ups. It's a lovely romantic story. It's unique, it's different, it's fun, great characters, great acting, and great direction and screenwriting. Great to have you on the show, Joan. Always a pleasure to talk with you. I love your movies, as I said. So thank you so much for being on the show again.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. If you've missed any of the Jan Price shows all about movies, you can go to my website, thejanpriceshow.com, where you can find all of the shows. They're all archived there, or you can go wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts, the iHeart Podcast Network, Apple, Google, Spotify, you name it, we're there. Also, when you're there, rate our show, but you can also find us on our YouTube channel. And go there, please, and subscribe and like us. And you can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at The Jan Price Show. Thank you all for listening.